Hey everyone, it's time for the 2024 edition of the Food and Wine Festival at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Like we've done in years past, we're going to take you around to the various booths that they have here this year. You can see the guidebook, which we'll get into a little bit later. We're going to take a look at what's new. Every single booth has at least something new. Some of the booths are entirely new for the 2024 season. We're going to pay special attention to them. We're going to sample a few things here and there, let you know what we think. And we also might have a special look at a certain coaster coming up in a second as well. But first, before we get into the food and wine, we wanted to talk about the member preview for the revamped Loch Ness Monster Coaster. So we were fortunate to have the opportunity to ride on the first train of the day for Loch Ness Monster. We noticed that the ride track layout is exactly as it was back when it was just an Aero creation, and that's a good and bad thing. It's good to keep the nostalgia alive, but it also has some kind of weird transitions in there, which makes it a little bit uncomfortable. But overall, we felt that the ride was a little bit smoother. Inside of the cave that the coaster goes through is where you'll see most of the new additions to the ride. Though going around the first turn leading to the lift hill, they added something new to look at. And they also added some on-ride audio. If you sit on the left-hand side of the train, you'll be better to hear the audio going up the lift hill. But if you sit on the right-hand side of the train, you'll be better to see the effects that are inside the cave. So keep that in mind when you ride. We thought overall it was fun. We really liked the addition that they put in the cave. And we also liked some of the other little details, such as this Bayther Castle Docks platform sign that they put up at the top here before you go into the station. So they did a great job with the re-tracking and theming of the ride.
Just made a bit of a discovery for you. We found this craft washed ashore. Looks like Bessie found them. We're trying to find out what's left of the poor souls overboard. The log says they're heading for a cave near the edge of the rock, but you don't want to keep anywhere. So you get to keep your eyes and ears open as the beasts are down there. And it seems she's mighty hungry. Oh, wait, okay, the message here. It says here, team, chase, come down to the center.
They also did a good job with the re-theming of the queue. I recorded a little bit of a short walkthrough of the queue, which I'll put up in the corner of the video right now for you to check out. Inside of Tweedside Gifts, and probably also in the Emporium, there's a selection of new Loch Ness Monster merchandise. Have these shirt designs. I wonder if the Skipper shirt has a design on the other side. That has a little piece right here. And they also have Loch Ness hoodie and some sweatshirts. And they have a child-sized version of the Loch Ness design. Here is a lanyard for the Loch Ness Monster, as well as a lanyard pouch. The pouch is $7.99 and the lanyard itself is $9.99. So about $18 for the pair. Last year there was a food and wine festival center inside the husk of the Squire's Grill. They obviously can't do that now because they've actually put things in the Squire's Grill, soon to be opening. So they moved it right nearby over here under this little archway. You can see there's a signpost here showing the map and where everything is. Talking about a tasting sampler, which we'll get into in a minute. And you would come here and actually buy your sampler. So now it's outdoors and easily accessible instead of inside like it was last year. And while we're on the subject of Squire's Grill, a small update. They put these little counters outside of the building here as if they're going to make it so that you can order at windows and just be given your food without actually entering Squire's Grill once it opens. I'm not sure if that's what it's going to be, but I can't think of any other reason why they would have put these little counters right here. The Food and Wine Festival dates this year are now until June 9th. As usual for the Food and Wine Festival, they have a sampler card that you can purchase. You can get either 10 or 15 items. The 10 item sampler is $70, or breaking down to approximately $7 an item, and a 15 item sampler is $85. They claim you can save up to 20% with the 15 item sampler. It obviously depends on which items you buy and what they cost. But if you're interested, here's a look at the QR code for the sampler. So we opted for the 10 item sampler since they were kind enough to give members a free tasting item for food and wine. We decided 15 wasn't necessary for this. As you can see, it starts off at $70, but then they add the $3.50 surcharge, and then they add the tax on it. It comes out to be $81.59 is the final cost after everything for the 10 item sampler. So it comes out, including taxes, to be a little over $8 an item. Here's a look at this year's Food and Wine Festival guide. When you first open it up, you get a map of everything that's available, and you can see on the right hand side there are a few new items. They have Highland Spirits, Africa, Barcastle Spirits, which the place itself isn't new, but their entire menu is new for this event, and Turkey, and a returning favorite of South Korea. I don't know why they classify that as a returning favorite when there are a bunch of other returning things that people also like. It's interesting choice, but we'll be looking at the menus for these places in more depth during this video, but the actual big lists at the actual locations don't say what's new, and this book does. So we'll take a quick look at the new items that are available this year. There's Africa, the entire list being new. Hawaii's got the new Loco Moco and the new beer and wine. Some margaritas, Mexico, French Quarter, Brazil. Jamaica has a new Toto rum cake and some new wines and beers. There's Barcastle Spirits, their whole new list. They have a very large amount of beers on tap. Herbal Infusion, Island Freeze, which has a lot of new items as well. October Taps, the Sangria Garden. Italy with their new Maltagliati. Turkey is one of the entirely new areas. South Korea with their bulgogis, which we like to say a lot for some reason. And the La Belle Wine Bar. Also on the very last page of the book, they mention wine tastings that you can take part in. They have some at La Belle Maison, Italy Gifts, German Gifts, and Emerald Isle Gifts. And also of note, on the very last page, they mention what's coming up. They finally have revealed what's happening this summer. They're calling it the Summer of Wonder. They had previously just mentioned that something new was happening in the summer and didn't say what. So here it is, June 14th through August 11th is the Summer of Wonder. They also have Military Appreciation Week, July 1st through 7th, and Busch Gardens Pride Day on July 21st. Here's a QR code for a view of the full menu that you can have on your own device if you want it. After you pass through the England area, the Virginia flags lead you to the first real Food and Wine Festival area, Virginia, and its usual spot on the side of Sweetside Gifts. Here's a look at Virginia's menu. They have local favorites including a Chesapeake-style crab cake slider, bacon and cheddar hush puppies, and an apple crisp. They also have a few beers, a couple wines, an apple pie moonshine cocktail, and a strawberry lemonade refresher. The informational signposts are back. Here's a look at Virginia's signposts. From Virginia, Jen got the crab cake slider, and it's pretty busy right around this area right now. So for those of you who are familiar with Disney terminology, we are using an Epcot table. So preliminary thought, we thought it was kind of strange that the crab cake was kind of dome shaped. We've never seen anything like that before, but in terms of flavor, Jen was a big fan. The sandwich has microgreens and a remoulade on it. Jen tried the remoulade by itself first before actually biting into the sandwich, and she said she wasn't a big fan of the remoulade, but when she put it together with the crab cake and the microgreens, she was a big fan of everything together. She would definitely have it again, even though it's a bit of a tiny portion for the price. Right before you cross the railroad tracks to Loch Ness Monster, you come to new for 2024 Highland Spirits, which they have 3 different types of spirits to choose from. They have a Peachwood American single malt from Copper Fox, a single malt Scotch from Dalwhinnie, and a Four Roses bourbon, small batch bourbon, or you can get a tasting plate for $24 that gives you 1 of each. You can also get a blackberry bourbon lemonade or an Irish buck cocktail here as well. Last year, Grogan's Grill was turned into Greece. This year, it's Africa. And obviously Africa is an entire continent, so they divide their menu into the various different, a sampling of the various different countries of Africa. They have from Mozambique some peri-peri chicken, from South Africa bobo tea, Egypt is koshari, and then another South African dish, nokter. They also have some wines, cocktail, and a refresher. Here's a quick look at the Africa Information Board, as well as the geographical locations of the countries where each of the foods come from on the menu. The seating area next to Grogan's Grill has also received a nice theming. The poles have been colored in, and they have some African-inspired decor, as well as an African-inspired photo opportunity right here against the wall. Take a quick look at some of the other baskets and other decor that are hanging up around here. That's a nice touch. I almost missed this until Jen pointed it out. These seats on the left side of what would normally be Grogan's Grill have, their umbrellas are now grass. That's a pretty cool touch, a nice little detail. So we opted to try the boba tea from the Africa area. This is a beef curry and a baked egg custard, which we thought was an interesting combination. So let's see how it tastes. So we actually enjoyed the boba tea. We didn't really get a whole lot of curry flavor in there, but the egg custard is pretty sweet and the beef is a little on the greasy side. That's my one knock toward it. If the beef was a little less greasy, this would be probably an A+ dish. But as long as you don't mind a little bit of grease and a surprising sweet flavor for what we were expecting to be a savory dish, you'll probably enjoy this. It looks like there's a new show on this little stage out in front of the Abbey Stone Theater, where it used to be Dublin Over, is now the Abbey Taverns. It looks like they do 4 shows a day at 11, 1, 3, and 5. Back in its usual spot right by the Eagles is the Hawaii area. You can take a look at the Hawaii menu. Kahlua pork slider, spam slider, loco moco, pineapple coconut mousse. Their beers are temporarily unavailable, but they also have wine and cocktails. Here's a quick look at the Hawaii information board, though I'm pretty sure this is exactly the same as in previous years. But I do like the tiki totem poles they have over here. So from Hawaii, we opted for the Loco Moco, which is a hamburger patty with brown gravy over sushi rice And there's a fried egg. First impression is that they fried their egg a little bit long, but we're not going to complain too much. So after eating the egg, we did feel like it was fried a little bit too long, but maybe that's how this dish is supposed to be. I'm not sure. Jen mentioned, and I would have to agree, this is kind of like a comfort food dish. It's almost, I was going to say American, but Hawaii is America, but it's almost like a continental southern type of comfort food. The gravy had a nice peppery flavor to it. The hamburger was well done, but still tasted really good. And the rice was tender and it had a lot of flavor to it. So we really enjoyed this one and would definitely get it again. It looks like the work that they were doing to the wolf enclosure is complete. And now, because we're here during Cinco de Mayo weekend, they've added some Cinco de Mayo decorations to the area, which is kind of a nice little touch. I really like those skulls that they put down there, and they have a little avocado on that rock. In between the wolves and the lorikeets, they have this limited time Cinco de Mayo photo spot. It lights up. It's kind of hard to see in the daytime, but the lights around the flower are on right now. Behind the lorikeet glen is one of my favorite decorations for any of the food and wine areas, the Mexico booth. The Mexico area has various different types of tacos. Most of them are new for the year. They have a barbecue pork taco, crispy shrimp taco, and shredded beef taco, as well as a taco trio, which is one of each. You can also get a sopapilla cheesecake bar and a horchata refresher. Here's a quick look at the Mexico signboard. And right past the Mexico area is the margarita stand. They have their menu on the screen back here. You can take a look. They have prickly pear margarita, frozen watermelon margarita, and a frozen lime margarita, as well as a couple of beers. So from the margarita area, we got the prickly pear margarita, and we also got the sopapilla over at the Mexico area. So we're going to try both of them. The prickly pear margarita is made with Juarez silver tequila and prickly pear, of course. And the sopapilla is made with a cinnamon sugar pastry dough and a sweet cream cheese. Looking forward to digging into that. Jen's a big fan of margaritas to begin with, and this prickly pear margarita was one that she really enjoyed a lot. She gives us a big thumbs up and would drink it again. Yes, big thumbs up. As for the sopapilla, they serve it a little bit chilled. Jen said that she wished it was served a little bit room temperature, but the flavor-wise, it's really good. The cream cheese gives it a nice little tang, and the cinnamon has nice sweetness. It's a good combination. We definitely enjoyed this one as well. So we actually decided to go back and get the shredded beef taco from Mexico as well. The shredded beef taco is marinated citrus and soy shredded beef, as well as queso fresco, cilantro, and mango salsa. You can see a little bit of mango there. There's not a whole lot. And obviously a wedge of lime to squirt on it. Flavor-wise, this taco is actually really good. The beef is seasoned really well. The mango salsa gives a nice little fresh sweetness to the taco. It's a really great flavor combination of sweet and spicy. My big complaint about it, though, is you can see you only get one single taco for $7.25. That's a very expensive taco, so definitely needs a bigger portion size for the price. But flavor-wise, it's really good. If you have the sampler card, you're able to use it at La Belle Wine Bar in France to get a sample size of any of their wines that they have available. They should have 20 to 25 wines available when they're open. Unfortunately, while we're here, they're not open yet, but they will be open later in the day. The building attached to the backside of Lafritte's garage is turned into the French Quarter, as it usually is this time of year. I've personally been a fan of what they've offered at the French Quarter each year when we've come here. Right now they have a muffaletta, shrimp étouffée, shrimp salad po' boy, beignets, and a bananas Foster cheesecake, as well as some beers, wines, and a frozen hurricane. Here's a quick look at the French Quarter signboard. Jen got the shrimp salad po' boy, which has lettuce, tomato, and a Creole shrimp salad on top. So Jen said she enjoyed the shrimp salad a lot. It's actually surprisingly spicy. It caught her off guard. But she did say that she felt that the bread is a little bit too thick for the sandwich. She actually had a difficult time figuring out how to eat it at first with all the loose shrimp on top. But she finally managed. Once she did eat it, she liked it overall. On the stage in France in front of Griffin, they're having a food and wine festival concert series. Saturdays and Sundays, 3 show times each day. Here's a list of everybody who is going to be here. And today is May 4th, so we're looking at the Rob Oliver Band performing today.
Young people speaking their minds, getting so much resistance from behind. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. When I hear a little laugh, I hear a little laughter. When I hear a little laugh, I hear a little laughter. When I hear a little laugh, I hear a little laughter. When I hear a little laugh, I hear a little laugh, girl. You make the whole world sing. Got green light, baby. I got to keep moving on. I got that green light, baby. I got to keep moving on. Hey, don't throw your life away. You know those same people that think they know the best versions of you and me are the same ones always stuck inside, never seem to break free. So I say, don't throw your life away.
As you enter New France, you come across the very colorful Brazil kiosk. I'm notoriously bad at Portuguese, so I have a very hard time pronouncing these. But the Brazil area has churrasco, linguiça, abacaxi, and arroz doce cremoso, as well as some wines, a mango caipirinha cocktail, and a refresher. Where you check out, there's a new display of a Brazilian flag made of bananas, lemons, banana leaves, and I guess some kind of berry. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure this wasn't here last year. It's a nice addition. Here's Brazil's info board.
Hello, watch out. Get that.
So we're trying the arroz doce cremosa, which is a rice pudding with toasted coconut on top and some cinnamon. So it's a nice sounding dessert. And we enjoyed the rice pudding. We thought that the cinnamon didn't really come through very well, and also the toasted coconut didn't really give it a whole lot of coconut flavor. However, the toasted coconut did add a lot of good texture to it, so it wasn't just a mushy pudding texture. Flavor-wise, though, despite the cinnamon not coming through all that well, the actual rice pudding itself tasted great. We both give it a thumbs up. Just wanted to add, we ate a little bit farther down and we noticed that the cinnamon is more prevalent at the bottom of the cup. So once you eat down a little bit, you'll get to some cinnamon, but it's not really spread throughout the pudding like you would think it would be. On the border between Germany and Oktoberfest is one of the most elaborately decorated food areas, Jamaica. I love the inclusion of the lighthouse here. The Jamaica menu includes a Jamaican patty, some gamba fritters, a jerk chicken slider, a Toto rum cake, and a non-alcoholic ginger lemonade refresher, as well as some beers, wines, and a Jamaican punch frozen cocktail and a dark and stormy non-frozen cocktail. A quick look at some of the Jamaica information board. Barcastle is here most times of the year in Oktoberfest, but for food and wine they have some special drinks. They also have a Virginia pimento beer cheese dip and a bourbon chocolate tart as food items. And they have the cocktails you see listed here, including a Loch Ness libation celebrating the reopening of the Loch Ness Monster, some draft beers, some wines. From Barcastle Spirits, Jen got the Caramel Macchiato Stout from Old Busthead Brewing Company. Nice dark beer like a stout should be. Jen was pleasantly surprised by this stout. It really does, she said, taste like a caramel macchiato, except it's pretty alcoholic. She said it was definitely more alcoholic than the previous beer that she had today. But she's enjoying it a lot, even though it's a little on the sweet side. Your gratuitous Dark Coaster wait time update. On Saturday, May the 4th, at about 2:40 p.m., the wait time is 135 minutes, which isn't too surprising. The park is very crowded today because there are a bunch of school groups here. While we're in the area, I wanted to mention that the Dark Coaster gift shop still has Dark Coaster opening day shirts for sale. So if you want to be able to say that you were here for opening day a year later, you still have your chance. Basically, directly on the opposite side of Barcastle Spirits and Oktoberfest is Herbal Infusion. As the name implies, they have infused items, mainly drinks. They have an infused wine, Mandarin Basil Wine Spritzer, 3 different cocktails, a Lavender Lemonade Refresher, and they also have Strawberry Basil Mousse, which we tried last year and was delicious, as well as a Lemon Thyme Tart, which is new for this year. Over here at the Islands Freeze, they have more than just frozen drinks. They have a corn and black bean salsa as well as chicharrones, which neither of them really seem to fit this area, so it's strange that they're here. But they also have these frozen cocktails: Pina Colada, Bahama Mama, Strawberry Daiquiri, Bellini, Loch Ness Lemonade, shouting out to the Loch Ness Monster reopening, and the Electric Ocean Margarita, as well as 3 different beers. From the Island Freeze, we got the corn and black bean salsa, which I still think is a little bit weird that they have that at Island Freeze of all places, but this, as the name implies, is corn and black bean salsa. It's also served with some plantain chips for dipping, which is a weird choice instead of tortilla chips, so we'll see if it tastes good. That salsa has a great spicy kick, and the plantain chips, as you would expect from plantain chips, are pretty sweet, so the sweet and spicy together works really well. I really enjoyed this, and I just wish that the cup was a little bit bigger because I really want more of that salsa. Even after all this is gone, I'm sure I'll still want more of the salsa. they have this pre-made and sitting in a little refrigerator that you grab yourself and then pay for it. So it's not something that they freshly make, but it still tastes really good. Although Jen isn't a fan of black beans, she is a huge fan of these plantain chips. She can't stop eating them. I don't know how long this has had a name, but this is the first time I'm noticing it. The area where Mock Tower used to be located, that's now a bunch of seats for eating, is the Prost Patio. And during the Food and Wine Festival, the Prost Patio, like the area over in France, also has their own concert series. 1:30, 4 o'clock, and 6:30 on Saturdays and Sundays. Today's entertainment is Daughters.
If you feel like you need a little bit of company, you met me at the perfect time. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'll never take it. The Milky Way, we're renegade. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight, I need you. All of our information is up here. You can find our socials, our original music on all streaming platforms under daughterofficial_ and Hannah Jim Music. Thanks, guys. Lady, running down to the riverside, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your lieutenant. I love you when you're singing that song, and I gotta open my door 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. You say he hung the moon, I say he hung the galaxy. Nobody does it better all the way you should. I've known a couple bad ones, but they only need to one good one. Yeah, one of the good ones.
Right next to the Prost Patio is October Taps, where they have a selection of alcoholic beverages. They have 8 different beers on draft to choose from. They also have 4 cocktails: a Bayou Mule, a Hibiscus Paloma, an Aussie Punch, and a green tea shooter. I also wanted to mention that throughout the Food and Wine Festival, these draft beers are rotating. So these are the beers that are currently available. That will change over the course of the Food and Wine Festival. From October Taps, Jen decided to get the Honey Brown Ale from Tradition Brewing Company. This is the size of the beer that they give you there, and hand for size reference of the cup. Pretty good size. Jen enjoyed her brown ale. If you like sweet beers, you'll probably enjoy this one. She said that she didn't really get a lot of honey flavor, but she did notice a smoothness to the beer that she thinks is probably created by the honey in the beer. So she would definitely have it again, as she enjoyed it. As if the 135-minute wait for Dark Coaster wasn't enough of an indication, the queue for Verbolten is entirely full today, to give you an idea of just how crowded it is here right now. After you cross the bridge into San Marco in Italy, you come to the Sangria Garden, which has various flavors of sangria. There is a cucumber melon sangria, pineapple jalapeno sake sangria, blood orange sangria, and a sweet tea sangria, as well as a sangria cupcake. So they cover all the bases here. Walking through Italy, you come to the very unexpected Italy. Very nice looking fake brick building. The Italy menu includes a giant meatball, which it better be very giant for $8.25, some caprese, maltagliati, which is new for this year, and lemon ricotta cake for dessert. as well as a couple of wines. Here's a look at Italy's information board. Turkey is new this year, replacing Japan in the Italy section of the park. The architecture of this building isn't quite as nice as what the Japan one was, but it's still a really nice building. Turkey offers a doner kebab, a koban salatasi, simit, and mosaic pasta tarifi. They have 2 different wines, a Turkish Delight cocktail, which is currently not available but should be available later this season, and an iron refresher, which is a frothy yogurt beverage. That's interesting. Here's the brand new turkey information board.
I know they're usually a pretty popular one. You know which one it is? How about a horse? That's Virginia? Yeah. Oh, no, maybe. Oh, that's right. Well, I know that every year Josh always wants the sheep. 75 damn Williamsburg. And he always wants a crab soup. And this year,
So we got the doner kebab. Believe it or not, this is a kebab. This was not what we were expecting as a kebab. We were expecting it to be on a skewer, but here it is. It's a beef and lamb shawarma pita, which I guess it is on a pita, so I guess that makes sense. Tomato, feta, olive, and cucumber. And I was a big fan of the Japan area, so I'm a little disappointed it was replaced. Let's hope that this is a good replacement for the Japan area. So this is very much a Turkish take on a Greek gyro, right down to the lamb and the feta cheese. Everything in here, it basically tastes just like a regular gyro. So if you're a fan of gyro, you will enjoy this. I was not expecting something like this from Turkey, but I do like gyros, so I'm very glad I got this. I enjoyed it a lot. Around the back side of the Turkish Delight and Festa Italia, in its usual spot, is South Korea. South Korea's menu hasn't changed much. They have chicken bulgogi, beef bulgogi, and Korean barbecue pork ribs. For cocktails, they have a Soul Spirit and a Korean soju. I believe the Soul Spirit may be new. I don't remember exactly. And the Dalgona Korean coffee non-alcoholic refresher is here as well. This is the Korea information board. From South Korea, we got the Dalgona Korean coffee, which is a sweet whipped coffee. I think you probably need to stir it once we receive it, so we're going to try to stir it before we drink it. It fits that we're right here by this sign that explains exactly what it is. And here's the coffee post-stirring after it's been, I guess, whipped by our spoon. So we both thought that this was pretty decent, this coffee drink. For something described as a sweet coffee, I was expecting more sweetness. It really wasn't that sweet. It had a touch of sweetness. We just thought it tasted more like a latte. It was very frothy like it should be, but it wasn't. It was only mildly sweet. It wasn't the best thing, but it wasn't the worst thing. It was just sort of in the middle. At least I thought it was sort of in the middle. Jen actually said that she likes it a lot. She doesn't like things as sweet as I do. I think I was a little bit skewed by the sign saying that it was a sweet coffee. I love that Busch Gardens is always wanting to do things with the facade of Escape from Pompeii. They did the light show at Christmas Town. Now they're putting the Food and Wine Festival logo on the facade. That's a nice touch. We just noticed that as we were on our way out. So, of everything we tried today, we think that the totem pole behind us should let you know the favorite for Jen was the Moco Loco from Hawaii. She really enjoyed that dish. I personally enjoyed the plantain chips with the salsa. That was a really great flavor combination. I would definitely have that again. Also, Jen wanted me to mention an important point. The globe bathrooms at the entrance to the park are still closed for the construction. So everybody that's coming into the park is using the Scotland bathrooms. And also before that, the bathrooms that are outside of the park gates. Those two particular bathrooms, especially on the women's side, are, since they're so populated, they go through toilet paper and make a mess very frequently there, and it doesn't seem like they're getting enough attention by staff. So those two particular bathrooms are very dirty, especially by the end of the day, so just keep that in mind. If possible, try to avoid those two bathrooms if you can. Just a little tip from your friendly neighborhood Jen. So that's it for the 2024 edition of the Food and Wine Festival. We hope you enjoyed the look at all the food that they had to offer and all the decor, the new booths like the turkey booth that we visited, which was really nice. We also hope you enjoyed the quick look at Loch Ness Monster's reopening. We're really excited to have everybody get a chance to ride it. They did a great job with the work on that. So if you enjoyed the video, we would appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Every like and subscribe is a big help to the channel. Also, please be sure to check out our Instagram page, which is appearing above Jen's head right now, and our Threads handles below that. And then right at the very bottom of the screen is our email address. Feel free to email us for any comments, questions, concerns, constructive criticism. We'll be sure to check every email. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for watching, but the fun's not over yet. Click the box in front of my face for another fun video, or click my tree to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss another video.